Hi, welcome back to Cedar Brook Academy's Basic Drawing. This should be week 11, April 23rd, 2020. Okay, today we're going to be learning a new drawing aspect called sighting. What's that? We'll see. But first, let's get out some supplies. Your sketchbook, the angle finder that was sent to you, you'll need a pencil, the vanish eraser, a ruler if you have one handy, a box if you have one handy. If you had been in class, we would have handed these out to you, but a box, and then a large cardboard format. You're going to need that for your homework. But if you want to prepare your page now, then you'll need that. Okay, this is what's due today. You're going to need to hand in to me through email the completed practice ear copy, and then one from your model. So there'll be 2 ears. A continuous line profile of a model, and you made sure you're using your black felt tip markers so you couldn't erase. Then a completed portrait in profile view. This should be your very finished one with sculpting and everything, not just a line drawing. Very finished, because we're done with portraits. And then your nature journal was to complete a profile or 3/4 view in color, and use your brush and water to blend the colors nicely, okay? So that was what's due. So today, again, we're going to be doing something called sighting. It's a method of informal perspective. It's one I prefer to use. In architectural drawing, you'll learn things like vanishing points, and which is cumbersome, so especially if you want to get a quick drawing of the interior of your house or of a box. So we're going to be using something called sighting today. And so let's see. So we're going to need a clean sheet of sketchbook page, and what I want you to put on it right away, before we even pray, is I want you to write these words. I want you to write, because this is one of our constants. This will help us with our sighting. I want you to write vertical is always vertical. And if you remember that, especially when you're drawing the boxes, you won't draw the sides all wonky. You'll keep the sides vertical. Vertical is always vertical, okay? One other thing that'll help you to, as you're drawing, is the edges of your paper. They're constant. You could turn your book, but those verticals are still going to be vertical, okay? That's what that lovely saying means. All right, I'm going to give you a little bit more information. We're going to draw a box today and the interior of a room corner. You're going to watch me put that together. I've already done it, but I want to break it down for you so you see how to get it from there onto your page. You'll be comparing angles. That's why you have the angle finder. Let's see. We're going to compare the height and width of sizes when we get to the corner. We'll have to figure out a basic unit to compare all the other shapes in the drawing, so that we draw things in proportion. So we have to keep that in mind. Okay. Sighting. So sighting requires that we shut down that left brain and boot up that right brain. It's because in order to draw it correctly, you kind of have to not draw it the way you know it to be. Like, this is a cube. Well, all these sides are the exact same length, but in order to draw it in the correct perspective, I might have to tell a lie. I might have to draw lines different lengths in order to make it look like a cube. So realistic drawing is a lie that tells the truth. Whoa. Alrighty, so after we've just said that, let's pray. Okay. Father, we just thank you again for your presence with us on this journey that we're on. Heavenly having to take classes online and missing our friends and our family. We pray, God, again, that you'd just give us courage, you'd give us strength and peace and health. But we also pray that today you'd help us as we're learning, trying to figure out something new that we haven't covered yet this year. And I pray that you just help us to sit with it and maybe even review the video if we have to, but to just think about how to use that angle finder and make, unlock interior drawings that way. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so if you were in class, I'd have you open to a clean page. If you want to be scribbling along with me, that would be great, because we're going to start with the box first. And I am going to put this box in various viewpoints, okay? Let's say, I don't know if the camera can you zoom in on this so that the camera is at eye level? Okay, so how many sides do you see? Well, at eye level on a cube, I only see two. One's lit and one's in deep shadow. So if I was going to draw that, I'd only draw two sides, wouldn't I? Okay, so what if it was above my eye level? Okay, let's see. And I'm going to put it like that. Can you see that with the camera? Okay, so I can see now 1, 2, 3 sides. This would be, and the light hits it differently. This is my lightest side. This is still my darkest side, but this is medium. So I would have to color those 3 different ways. Same color, but maybe if I used hatching, I would put cross hatching here and then cross hatching several different ways on this side. Okay, so then I'm going to put it, let's say I'm going to put it down now below my eye level. Again, I see 1, 2, 3 sides. And that's the one we're going to use sighting with our angle finder to draw on our board here, okay? Or in your book. You don't have to draw on a board. Okay, so how would I do this? I've already done it just because it takes a bit of time. But if you were in class, I would be telling you, start with just drawing a line, a vertical line. And that's the corner closest to you, that one right there, right? Okay, then we're gonna use our angle finder and put the arrow down. I'm going to do the top angle first. Put the arrow down, and then I am going to lock this arm that's holding it. I have to sit in the same place. And then I am going to move this and close one eye. Oh yeah, you could have to use monocular vision instead of binocular vision. Okay. So I get this angle, and whoa, there it is. See, so then I go, psh, psh. Okay. Now, I have to get the other side. I can do the same thing. I line up my angle finder, the arrow down, and I have to adjust. Now I'm locking this arm, and I have to adjust that angle till I get it just about right. Come over here. Oh, there we go. Now I've got the top. Let's just say we only had that much. All right, there we go. How do I get the bottom? Well, now I can put the arrow going up. I'm going to use the same arm, lock my elbow, and close one eye. Move this angle finder thing up and put it over here. And then I've got my angle going up. Okay, I got to do the other side, don't I? All right, put it in this hand. I'm going to lock my elbow again so it does, if I do this, I would be changing the angle that I'm seeing. So I want to lock my elbow, get that same angle, come over here, put it down, and draw that one. Okay, so then I got this one, I got this one, I got this one, I got this one, and I got this one. But I didn't have these yet, all right? So I just decide that's a cube. I am going to just drop my 2 sides down. How do I get the top angles? Well, now I can use this vertical and this wrinkle. I should probably use my ruler, shouldn't I? Sorry, guys. And I can get this angle. All right, so I'm going to drop the arrow down, lock this elbow, close one eye, adjust this a little bit. There we go. And okay, there it is. There it is. So then I would go, all right, and then on the other side, I'm going to use this one here, now to put my arrow down and swing my angle up. I've got this arm locked. I've got one eye shut. I've got my angle, whoops. And so then I would draw my last one, and there would be my box, my cube, sighting with an angle finder, okay? All right, now a really simple way, if you were doing a cube, let's see. Okay, first you connect the dots. You draw 4 dots, then you connect them. Then you drop down the two of the sides, because you know they're equal, right? But hey, guess what? I have to draw this one closest to me. It's closest to me. So on a page, look how my fingers are moving here. I have to move up the page if this was a page. So it does seem like this is lower on the page, doesn't it? So I've got to draw it a little bit longer down. And there. Now I've got a cube, just like that. Say you have a cereal box. You don't have something like this to draw at home, and I'm asking you to draw, you know, a box. So let's see. Let's do cereal box size. Whoops. Let's see. We still connect the dots. And we still drop down the sides. Those two are still equal, but this one's got to be a little bit longer to make sense out of this. Shoop and shoop. Hey, there's our cereal box. Okay? Simple. All right, good. That's the 4-dotted method. The 4-dot method. And you're drawing your box. You see this word down here? That's obtuse angle. And that symbol right there is the symbol, the math symbol for angle. All right, so I use that instead of writing it out. So, okay, so we're drawing things in an obtuse angle. Okay, now that we've got that figured all out, we are going to go over here and draw this corner of the room. Now, keep it simple. Find one at home where you can draw. Excuse me, I have to move the chair. And I have to decide. I've picked this corner, right? But I've got to put something on the floor because I tend to move around. I have to put a piece of tape on the floor so that I will always come back to the same spot to draw, because I move forward and things like that to draw things. But oops, but this is where I'm seeing the angle. I didn't want to have the lamp covering up the corner so I have to kind of be off center with my lamp so that I can actually see the corner of the room, because that's what I want to start with. So what I want you to do when you pick the corner of the room, I really want you to get the ceiling line and I want you to get the floor line. If you have to move furniture, you know, tell your mom Mrs. Smith said so. I hope you can do that. Anyway, it's interesting, isn't it, that the angles that you have to draw to make it look real, you might not think that. I remember at the very beginning, the very first day of class, I had you draw the corner of your room, of our room that we were in, and I'm not sure you drew it this way, but this is what you can do. You want to start here. Let's pretend I've drawn the border with my large cardboard format onto a sketchbook page. Here's my sketchbook page, right? But I know I want to get the ceiling line in and I want to get the floor line in. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to draw a line to represent the corner. But I'm going to start not at the top of the page. And I'm going to end with my line not at the bottom of the page. Do you see how I've done that? And it's intentional. Okay? So now that I've got the line there, I've decided that's where I'm going to put the corner of my room on my paper. I want to make sure I've got the ceiling lines accurate. So I stand with my feet where they should be, put my angle finder pointing down on the actual crack where the two walls meet, and then I pinch up the other one to close one eye, lock this arm, try to find that accurate angle, and bring it over here, and yeah, that's it. So that's where I draw it, and then I extended it with my ruler. I extended it to the frame. Okay, there's that one. Gotta get the other side now. Okay, so I put it in the other hand, and I drop the arrow down, and I lock that arm, close one eye, and I see this angle. I bring it on over, and if it wasn't already drawn, I would draw it right there. Okay, got my ceiling line. Ta-da! Now, how do I do the bottom? Well, I put the arrow up. I put the arrow up. I close. Oops, wait a minute. I got to get my feet where they need to be. Haha. Okay. I put the angle on. Lock this arm. I put the angle finder with the arrow up. I get this angle. Come on over here. And yep, there it is. Draw a line. Got to go the other way. Keep my feet where they should be. Angle finder pointing up. And let's see if that's the right angle. Come on over here. And there it is. Okay. Now, if you notice over here on my wall, I have baseboards down there. And so rather than remeasuring them, I know they're going to run parallel to the line I've already put in there. So I would just, so that's what I did. I just ran those parallel to that. Okay. All right. Got my angle, or got my floorboards in, got my corner, and when I first put it in, I put it right, the lamp wasn't there, obviously. Okay, how do I put the lamp in? How do I put the picture in? Well, I've got to get a measure. And you've seen people do this probably at the museum if you've been when an artist was actually working on copying another person's artwork. They'll take their pencil and they slide their thumb down and they take a measurement. And so I'm taking a measurement that this is going to be my 1. And from that, I am going to measure everything else in my drawing. So for me, it doesn't have to be this long because that would be way too out of proportion. So I just decide that my 1 is going to be that big. That's my 1, okay, from which I measure everything else. So if I go over here to this picture and I've made a measurement, how many 1s is the width of that picture? Well, it's 1 and about a half. So I know, okay, the picture's got to be 1 and a half long. Okay, so I know how long it has to be, but I don't know what angle it's supposed to be at, do I? But I know that I know that the frame is vertical, so I can drop my line down and lock this arm and get a measurement for that. And there it is. Okay, so I'm able to get the right angle. I may not know what the length is. What would the length be? Well, let's measure again, okay? The length would be 1, 2. 2 down. Okay, so let's see on my drawing how many. 1, 2. Okay, so that's where it stops. So on this side, I can do the vertical. I know the angle up here is like that. So my vertical is this long, and I am going to, and I know it's this long this way. So I can draw that angle. And then how do I get that angle? Well, I've got to, now that I know where this is, I put this angle finder going up, lock this arm, and there we go. Well, I don't know if you're seeing it in the camera that way. All right. Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay, so I can draw that in. And then, this was a drawing that my son did when he was in college, and so I've just kind of scribbled it in. It's a skull and everything. It looks pretty complicated, but yeah. So you can make it as detailed as you want. Anyway, now how about that lamp? Well, I know it's this far down, and I know that there's a space, but when I stand where I'm supposed to stand, there's a little gap between the edge of the lamp and the edge of the painting. So I know that I can't. And I know that, oh, because I am my eye level is below the top of that lamp. I know it's going to curve this way because it's up above me. If it was at eye level, it would be straight across. If it was below my eye level, it would be curved. I would look at it and it would be curving up. It's kind of like when you draw a mug. So I know it's higher than me, so I'm curving it up. And so I'm curving all these shapes up. Now as they're coming down, that one, this one right in here is more like my eye level. And then the ones down here, they are getting a little bit below my eye level. So, oh, it doesn't show up in this marker. But I'm trying to curve them up. I think it's because I've already drawn on here. Okay. And here I'm way below. This is below my eye level, so I'm curving these way up. Okay? Oh, but I guess I didn't talk about drawing the the actual post of it. But it's vertical. I drew that in first. It is vertical, and I looked down here. Now here's where I kind of went. I used my knowledge of negative space. Look at that shape. Look at this shape here how I drew it. And look at the shape. Well, you have to probably look from where I'm standing. I don't know if it'll show up in the video. But it's the same. I'm looking at this shape. And then can you see it in the video? I'm looking at that shape right in there. And so I'm trying to capture that same shape here with the cord and everything. And I'm looking at the trap shape between this and the corner. And so I'm pretty much placing that with the help of negative space. Okay? And then if I was going to shade this is darker because this is down. This is and that gives it a little bit of a 3D. Now, I also have a curtain that I can see. I couldn't see all this before, so maybe I should put it the way I had it. Yeah, okay, doesn't really matter. Anyway, I have some curtain in mine, but I also had this shelf at the top of the curtain. How would I do that? Well, again, you use your angle finder, and I could compare it to there's a part there that comes straight down, and then there's a part of the shelf that's angled. So I wanted to capture that angle, and so I did right up in there. So I was able to draw that and extend it down. and just kind of add some, yeah, shading. I just took all the shading off. Yes, there we go, shading. And then I just added the drapery coming down, and it came down beyond, if you can look, it comes down beyond the baseboard there. So I had to make that come down farther than the baseboard. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Remember that vertical is always vertical. Use your angle finder. You have to close, close one eye. I'm like, close with a C. Close one eye. And you have to lock that elbow. Lock your elbow. And keep it simple. Just use a simple corner. Now come on over here a minute, and you can see some examples of homework that other kids did. Notice, I wanted to point on this one, the angle of the ceiling and the angle of the floor, but then, now what do you do with wainscoting their chair rail? Well, she had to measure it. Which angle is it that angle or is it this angle? Well, maybe it's its own angle. So you got to pay attention to that. And then she had a box in there. Ooh, look at this house. This one was full of interesting angles, but she did a good job capturing them, didn't she? And down here, this gal, let's see, she put some furniture in there, and she even had part of her hallway going. And look at what, I don't know if it shows up, but she's got the light lamp on and you can see the shading. Okay, and then up here, very clean looking room. Kept it simple, but very accurate. And then here's another one. We've got our ceiling line, we got our floor line. This is what I'm wanting from you guys, so make sure you do that. And then it's just some simple furniture, a register, and oh look, there's a hook for a hanging plant. I thought that was cute. And then you can go wild with color if you want to. These are all pretty realistic, but if you'd rather do something crazy, I'm okay with that. All right, so I'll be sending you some handouts that might help you figure things out. Look for them in your email on Monday. And then I think that's it. So God bless your week, and see you in another week.